will be open. This morning, phone lines will be open and available for anybody that want to discuss. But of course, we want to do the toast first. Let's check and see if the chat is up. All right, it appears that the chat is up, and it says that we have 5 spots out of 6 connected. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's bad. 6 out of 6 are not connected. Let's see what we are on right now. Live. Since it's cold out here and the weather might be slowing down the internet. Stop the world. It says a polar vortex that's just circling around this whole area. Alright. So the black signal has successfully went out. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Streak.me. Periscope is spinning. We got the great spin of death on Periscope. We're online on Periscope. We're got the circles of death on YouTube right now. Stream now. I wonder if there's other YouTube channels that I can actually. Is there other way? Because they just got me on. Well, I want to be on Stream now, I guess. But maybe there's another way that I could be on YouTube too. Let me check that so that we can find out. Because of course, Sasha and Gina want to start their shows back up. It's been about 2 years since they, so they had some growth. So we're going to see, and I can use that as something to motivate my babies to go on and do their best in school. If anybody's out there on Spreaker, can you let me know how it sounds to you? Let me go over here and let people know that we will have the lines open. I know a lot of people sleeping in. The lines will be open for the toast and conversation. No, toast and talk. That's what we call it. Toast and talk. We're going to toast. We're going to talk. 614-556-4535. Alright. Also for anybody that want to support Gianni, just, like I said, you can label it for what you want, whether it's for one of the festivals, whether it's for the warrior training. You know what I'm saying? You can feel free to go and you can hit this link up, paypal.me/GNJ. So for those that wanna help out Gianni Journey, I'm throwing that up there. So just put down that you want a book or something. I like trading, but some people just want to do something. So there you go, right there. Brother Kwame is on the line. When it's cold outside, girl, who you holding? You know what I'm saying? Gotta let them know, Kwame. This is when maleness is good, generating that heat in the bed, right? When it's cold outside. They said this stretch all the way down to all the way south, brother. But hey, but y'all know how it is. First off, I want to welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, where the hustle builds muscle. This is Gianni Journey Media. God damn it, anime? Anime. Alright, anime. Let's try that again. Alright, I'm trying my new tagline. Please, work with me, alright? You have just joined the congregation of the mighty, where the hustle builds muscle. This is Ujima Journey Media. I ain't gonna give you a high five on that one, because that was, the first one was just ridiculous. It's almost, you was looking right at me. You knew that you were supposed to screech. Nonsense. This is a Heart of a Summer production, and right now we are on a daily toast. Yeah, that's right. Well, we strive to blow asunder your old paradigms. All you gotta do is explode, homie. That's it. That's your job. That's your career. I didn't turn you to an explosion. You was an explosion when I found you. So when it's time to explode, blow your ass up. Do you understand? I can't hear you. Man, working with mythic creatures is just, sometimes it's not worth the stress. Well, we strive. I can't help but to feel that you're playing with me right now, right? Right? You're just playing, right? We only been doing this for we've been doing this. You've been with me for years, right? Let's try it again. Don't make me, whew. Hold on. Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Y'all three, y'all need to get it together. The only one that do more than one job is anime. I'm trying, family. I'm trying.
Mr. Deity.
Don't sound right. Drink your water. Come on. Drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Really, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should we say, breathe, then drink. Now grab your glass for some water. Get your bottle of that water. Twist the cap off that water. Lift it for your water. Drink. Or should we say, live or then drink. Now move your body, drink some water. Come on, stretch with me, fam. Move your body and drink some water. Come on, get that stretch in. Move your body and drink some water. Come on. Just move your body. Drink. Or should we say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then drink. Now let's write it down, listen. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, live, move, drink. Man. Breathe, live, move, drink. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Told your ancestors, break down and drink it up. Drink up. Trying to get this 50 ounces. Wasn't able to do it today. But y'all seen me do it. We know we can do it. What man has done, man can do. All right. I see Miss Tiandra here. My boy in Minneapolis says it is 60 below zero. Great Ujima to you, Miss Tiandra. I got to fly on your page, brother. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We've been getting support for the G&J Mall. You know what I'm saying? We setting up a market. You know what I'm saying? Trying to help that community build so we can stop being that dog being thrown out of somebody else's kitchen. We want our own kitchen. You know what I'm saying? We want our own. Right? We want to build. And you know that's what we doing. So let's see. Hold on. So this thing is blocking telling me how many people we got in. Sure, okay. Alright, so for those that missed the story last night, we got several different translations now. So there is a site that's dedicated to the many translations of Aesop's fables. So let's go. Since we got a little bit of time this morning, let's read them all. So we have the first. Now it's called Tales of Aesop, Fables of Aesop, a complete collection. Actually, what I'll do is I will share the site. That would be smart, brother Hatim. Hold on, before I share this site, let me share the site. If I still got it on here, let me share the site. There we go. For the community mall. And then I will go here and I will share this site as well. If y'all want to, we could further the discussion from last night. It's all on y'all, depending on what direction y'all want to go. Because, you know, I don't necessarily have an agenda, but your agenda, which y'all want to discuss on in the morning, on this cold morning. I'll let y'all know when I go out how cold it is. Alright? So all you got to do is keep the fables of Aesop.com. But this is the fable from last night. And when I'm thinking about it, I guess I could do this on the show. But I'd be kind of running. So that'd be another responsibility. So somebody else, if they want to, they can, if they want to, y'all can build that up and start doing that like that. So, All right, I don't know how I got to the homepage, but I'm going to go back to where I was. I guess they was glad that I shared it, but they took me to another page. And while we waiting, oh, cool. No, that's not what we wanted. The dog, there we go. The dog and the cook. I guess it was kind of upset that I shared and wanted to teach me a lesson. I was thrown out the kitchen. You know, I'm going to be using that one all day. Just grabbed by my hind feet and my forefeet and flung out the kitchen. All right, the dog and the cook. So we got now the very first translation is usually very short. It says, a dog invited another to the feast. The visiting dog was found among the food by the cook, who threw him out. To save face, visitors said he was drunk. Some respect is due the servant for the sake of the master. Some respect is due the servant for the sake of the master. So now, that is an interesting twist on that one. Some respect is due the servant for the sake of the master. Wow. Okay. Now, next one is the Townsend version, which is the version that we use. A rich man gave a great feast to which he invited many friends and acquaintances. His dog availed himself of the occasion to invite a stranger dog. Can somebody out there look up availed? Because in context, it sounds as if it means gave himself permission, you know what I'm saying, availed. But maybe it means something else. His dog availed himself of the occasion to invite a stranger dog, a friend of his. Why would they call it a stranger dog? I guess it would be a stranger dog to the master and the cook. A friend of his saying, my master gives a feast, and there's always much food remaining. Come and sup with me tonight. The dog, thus invited, went at the hour appointed, and seeing the preparations for so grand an entertainment, said in the joy of his heart, how glad I am that I came. I do not often get such a chance as this. I will take care and eat enough to last me both today and tomorrow. While he was congratulating himself and wagging his tail to convey his pleasure to his friend, the cook saw him moving about among his dishes, and seizing him by his fore and hind paws, bundled him without ceremony out of the window. He fell with force upon the ground and limped away, howling dreadfully. His yelling soon attracted other street dogs, who came up to him and inquired how he had enjoyed his supper. He replied, why, to tell you the truth, I drank so much wine that I remember nothing. I do not know how I got out the house. Now, that's one piece that we didn't cover last night. I mean, well, Quasi kind of covered it. He just fronting. But, you know, the whole drunk, the whole, kind of playing it off. So this is the Jeffrey Taylor version, which is usually a little bit longer. And they got a picture of the cook throwing the dog out. I invited sundry folk to dine. I cannot tell you who because I was not there. But someone was, who when returned with ready pen recorded that which happened then. It seems this occurrence occurred. The orders overheard for game and fish and butcher's meat and much besides a royal treat. So finding mighty preparations, the dog asked one of his relations. He thought it was, and so do I, a lucky opportunity. This dog arrived, was ushered in, where charming things were smelt and seen. The meat, while raw, so tempted looked, they wished it were not to be cooked, though then they might have thought it nice before the pepper and the spice. Yet as it might be underdone, and some have peppers, some have none. Twixt venison, mutton, beef, and veal. They doubted not to make a meal, but woe befell the luckless cur, whence come disaster, you infer. To cook, you see, who chanced to find him, turned around and softly crept behind him, then took a leg in either hand, all which you clearly understand, and bore the inverted howling beast far from the kitchen and the feast. Then from the window to the yard was thrown the dog who thought it hard. 'Twas bad enough to break his bones. Hold on. Twas bad enough to break his bones by falling headlong on the stones. Why you do that? I be thinking sometime my computer just be messing with me. Break his bones by falling headlong on the stones. But this, though bad, was not the worst. There yet remains to be rehearsed. For all the dogs and cats he knew pressed round with friendly, "How do you do?" "Do," said our hero, somewhat gruff. "What do you mean? I'm well enough." "Well, glad to hear it, sir," said they. "How'd you like your dinner, pray?" "Dinner," said he, "I only wish all you could taste the charming dish. In truth, so much I ate and drank, I must acknowledge, to be frank, I was so sadly overcome, I scarce know how I left the room." Thus, disappointment, confusion, reward, impudent intrusion. We got a couple more, so let's see. A certain rich man invited a person of high rank to sup with him. Extraordinary preparations were made for the repast, and all the delicacies of the season provided. The dog of the host, having long wished to entertain another dog, a friend of his, thought this would be a capital time to ask him to come. As soon, therefore, as it fell dusk, the invited dog came and was shown by his friend into the kitchen. The preparation there filled him with astonishment, and he resolved that when the time came he would eat enough to last him a week. He wagged his tail so hard and licked his chops in anticipation with so much vigor that he attracted the notice of the head cook, who, seeing a strange dog about, caught him by the tail, and after giving him a swing in the air, sent him flying through the open window into the street. He limped away and was soon surrounded by a lot of curs to whom he had boasted of his invitation. They asked him eagerly how he had fared. "Oh, really," answered he, "I went on to that extent that I hardly knew which way I got out the house." And this one, that's from the JBR collection. We also have the little strange version. A gentleman invited a friend to supper with him, and the gentleman's dog was so well bred to invite a friend's dog to come for company. The dog came at his hour, and into the kitchen he went to see what good cheer was toward. But as he was there wagging his tail and licking his lips at the thought of what the meal he was like to make on't, the rogai got slyly behind him and spoiled the jest. He took him up by the tail at unawares, and after a turn or two in the air, flung him out the window. So soon as ever the poor devil had recovered to squelch away his scampers, bawling like mad, with I know not how many prick-eared durs at the heels of him, to know how he liked his welcome. "Why, truly," says he, "they have given me as much drink as my skin will hold, and it has made me so lightheaded I could not find the right way out of the house again." And the moral says, "Love me, love my dog," says the old proverb, and there's somewhat of a good manners, as wed as of good natured in't, but there are certain decencies of respect due to the servant for the master's sake. Then they got one in Latin. I'm not even going to try to read that one. But the point is that all these stories, regardless of which one we look at, all of them circle around a central theme where now one of them stressed the fact that the dog was noticed. Unlike the other dog who belonged in the house, this dog was so excited looking at the food, wagging his tail, that he was noticed, and he didn't pay attention to his surroundings. He didn't pay attention to, as Chaka would say, the protocol of the room. You know what I'm saying? So, it's important that we do pay attention to the protocols if we're going into somebody else's place. Now, when it's your place, you set the damn protocol, right? Also, another thing is that, where is it at? I like how they say it. Some respect is due the servant for the sake of the master. So the dog is not the master. The master is throwing the party, the shindig. The dog invited somebody. And to bring somebody into the cook's kitchen while the cook is preparing this is not showing respect to the servant. So it says a servant or the cook. Some respect is due the servant for the sake of the master, right? So it's like, boom, I know that I don't own the kitchen, but while I'm working here, this is my space. So I want it in a certain way. And you and your friends are not allowed in here, type thing. So enough of that. Let's go on. Let's see. All right. New message. Avail, help, or benefit. Avail means to make available. When a stranger in a strange land imitate the behavior of the flora and the fauna. Avail means to make available to. Hold on. Avail. His dog availed himself of the occasion. Made available to himself the occasion. Help or benefit. Verb. Miss Tiandra got in on me. She said, verb 1, avail, used to one's advantage. He availed himself of the available resources. Aptly, employ, use, utilize, put into service, make, work, or employ for a particular purpose or for its inherent or natural purpose. Use your head. Avail. Lamech pentameter is his style of narrating the fable. Iambic pentameter. Oh, okay. Is that what that was? All right. I can dig it. I was thinking, while I was reading, I said, damn, I could take a few of these folk tales and turn these into poems and republish them. Shit. That's what I got to do. I was born for that. All right, so let's go on. Let's get this toast on. Let me just water that. I didn't have. Woo. Baby, baby, when I look at you, I get a warm feeling inside. That's been on my mind since the party on Kaumba. I had to go and find it. I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that was a remake by Shaka Khan from a Prince song. So I had to go hear the original. And man, it was good. Or you can haiku one of the morals of you right. You right. I can do either one. So, poetry is my religion. That's the name. Poetry is my religion. So, I can go and set a couple of those to verse. I ain't gonna do no iambic pentameter or no shit like that. I know they got something to do with 5 Poetry is my religion. You see that? Poetry is my religion. Let's see. Where that poem at? Let's go. Since I got time. Well, it is cold because I'm feeling a slight draft up in here. Hey man, wash those dishes, man. You ain't got school. You're like, oh man, damn. Poor Cleve. I need to go on now. When I redo this book, I'm gonna do it with a, cause I was in a hurry. Cause I back in the day, I'd be like, man, I ain't gonna never read these again. I guess that didn't work. So let me see. Poetry is my religion. Oh, damn. Well, damn. I guess poetry ain't my religion today. Cause I ain't gonna be able to spend. There we go. Poetry is my religion. Here you go. Poetry is my religion. You heard me. Poetry is my religion. Since the beginning of time, we have sought something to give us protection, and poetry has always been there. She has gently guided us into communion with that thing greater than ourselves. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for poetry walks beside me and inside me. She shields me from the cold of the world, and through her I see what is truly divine. And isn't that what religion does for our minds? Poetry is the vehicle that takes me beyond time and space. It warps me into a sacred space. Poetry is my religion. And I don't expect you to agree, but it was the art, poetry, that saved me. It was poetry that sparked my original ambition. It was the vehicle through which I received my redemption. And I'm not the only one. If you really read the Psalms, you will hear a poem being sung. If you take time and read the Quran, you will hear a poem being passed from angel to man. If you truly heard the Buddha and read his script, you will hear a poem falling from his lips. And if we go back and follow the timeline, you see poetry at the forefront of the African mind, from the songs of Ra to the oracles of Ifa. Poetry has been used. You see, only through poetry can you understand the power of the divine birth. And I harness that power for all that is worth. The paper is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It's the pen in my hand, and in the motion of me writing poetry gives birth to the divine Son of Man, singing the message of the soul that writes, having power of destruction, or creating things that are right. So, poetry is my religion. Alright, so let's go and get to this. Let's get to this toast. First, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift up the glass. We salute the Creator on this marvelous cold day, because although it's cold, we can wake up and experience it, right? So we lift up our glass and we say Ashe from their family. We move to the stars of the show. We move to our list of ancestors. Yes, here it goes. And I need to make sure I got my book available so I don't just jump over Miles Ramos and Robin the Texan Davis, I'm Brown Senior, Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Christopher Pennington, Eileen, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, I'm Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tapper, John Falar, Montague Pittman, L, No More X, Sapet Mount, Ra Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmel, Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Algenie, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Broford, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Willis Rose, Stunning Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullian, the Lester brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kill Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Willer, Vita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn Theolis Hansberry, Harvey Hansberry Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Pray Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mitchell Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sergeant Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavina Hall, Freeman Banks, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Henry Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinez, Elder Amtep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Bina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Miller, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Angie Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillimon Ayers, Jean and Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFridas Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scannell, Wilson Headley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooding, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Ian Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Ward I, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Uppert, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jepson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Cleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Arthur Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Ewan Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harry, Tubman Case, Spencer Sturgis, Shelly Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino, Baby Hatchet, Senior, Mally Miller, Housie Hashtag, Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Viola Ross, Robert Nelson, Prince Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Liddy Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Benetta, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Herman West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, and Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Bette Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggies, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Jabea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shechem Aha Reed Jr., John Reed, Shechem Aha Jr., Shechem Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edwin R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Cooper, George Swan, and Monia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards, McNabb, Eddie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We got Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, man. Elder Shaka McNair, and Anthony Brown. Man, we lift up our glass to our ancestors. What a pleasure it is every day for your names to roll off my lips and spark the memories of the Daily Toasters. Man, so we lift it up and we say, Ashe, man, that feels good. Kind of warm. I felt something warm run through me real quick. I'm getting hot just thinking about it, right? So we lift up our glass, and from there, family, move to the present moment. Move to the present moment.
Damn, Rock, come on! What's the matter with you? Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
There is no tomorrow. You heard it from a Rocky movie, so it must be true. Rocky don't lie. Neither did Creed. So since Rocky said it, and in fact of that, since Apollo Creed, you know who Apollo Creed is? You know what's amazing? I mean, now I know y'all know this, but one of the most amazing things about that whole Rocky saga, man, was that Rocky actually got a statue when one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time from Philadelphia don't got shit. They never gave Smoking Joe the real McCoy, right? A real McCoy. They gave Rocky a statue. But Smoking Joe, no. Not Smoking Joe. The hell? You gave a movie that might not even been made in, a lot of those movies might not even been made in Philadelphia. That's some shit, right? All right. So today is Ujima. That stands for Collective Worker Responsibility for all those that don't speak the language you need to learn the language. But I know everybody that's on the line right now speak the language. I'm speaking to some of those that might be just tourists up here in Giami Journeyland, right? And you just say, I'm going to check out. So I'm letting you know that Ujima means collective work and responsibility. And that's what the day is today. It's collective work and responsibility. We are activating our reticular formations. And we are searching out. Right? Ujima. That's the goal for the day. That's the goal for the day, family. Brother Kwame, hold on. They will have our people done for Smoking Joe. We understand what they do, and even to some degree why they do it. Gotta focus on what we're gonna do. What? Wasn't Frazier Ali before Ali? Nah, Ali always been Ali. But Frazier was the first one to hand him a good dish of ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But Kwame bring up the point. Once again, I'm in somebody's kitchen getting excited, shaking my tail. And Kwame remind me that the cook is about to come up and throw me up out this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So, actually, Frazier rose to prominence while Ali was banned from boxing for standing up for I'm not going to war. As far as being outspoken, Joe Frazier wasn't the most outspoken. Joe Frazier was just Joe Frazier was a hell of an athlete. You understand? I mean, Joe Frazier was a hell of an athlete. He wasn't outspoken. You know what I'm saying? But let me say this. If you remember in the Ali movie, the dude that was giving Ali money while Ali was out there running his mouth and shit was Joe Frazier. Let's see. Right. Don't be the dog in someone else's kitchen. Well, we already know the fate. Because you know I'll be screaming and yelling and then talk about how much of a good time I had at the party. Because I'm building a movement. He was depicted as a good old Southern boy. No, not. You sure about Frazier? That sounds like Big Boy. The one that the Rumble in the Jungle. That one, Frazier was straight East Coast. I don't even think he had a Southern accent. But Big Boy was more of a Southern brute type thing. But, you know, Ali really, really did that man wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, you know. Yeah, Foreman. I'm thinking it was Foreman. But hold on. So we're activating our reticular formations. We're looking for collective work and responsibility. Like right now, like this discussion. Once again, for those that y'all need to know, the lines are open. I'll be open. My fault. I'm going to open the lines in a minute. The demonic principle of the day is righteousness. The M7 is respect. The color is blue. Didn't go get my blue shirt. The hermetic law is vibration. Male name for the day is Kwaku. Female is Akua. I want to meet a Kwaku and I want to meet a Akua. We need one in the daily toe, so we hunting for Akua and Kwaku. We need a Kwaku and a Akua. We don't got a Kwojo that comes in regularly or Ajua. But we got Kwabena Abena. Matter of fact, 3 of us in the room right now. Shouts out to my Albanas, right? Throw your hands up. We got we don't have a Kwaku or a Kua. We don't have Ya or Ya in the morning circle. We don't have Kofi and a Fua. But we do have a Kwame for Kuumba, and we do have a Kwesi. As a matter of fact, we got 2 Kwesis because the other Kwesi in the kitchen washing the dishes. And by the way, Kwesi, I appreciate you inviting Cleve to come out so that you can show him a few things with the basketball because his big brother ain't here, and you know I know he can't wait to get down here for a couple of days to work with him as well. It's the reason why Joe Frazier was so hurt when Ali went on him when they were prepping for one of the big fights. Yeah, man, that messed him up. You know what I'm saying? And I understand. You help somebody all the time, and then they coming out saying he was saying some horrible shit about Joe Frazier and his complexion. You know, and I'm about Joe Frazier's complexion, so I have to give Ali the kind of, the side eye. What is this motherfucker doing? I understand. I know it's a lot of Ali lovers out there. You know, I love Ali too. Matter of fact, I quote him in one of my books. I love Ali. But that was some foul shit. And we got to be able to Speak out when some foul shit is going on. Right? That was some foul shit he did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, I mean, like, that part of the legacy, you know what I'm saying? I have to be honest about that shit. You know, because that was horrible. That was horrible. That was not only disrespectful to Joe Frazier, that was disrespectful to dark-skinned people, period. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? You gave the little kids in the playground more cracks than I had to deal with. So, I mean, I will thank Ali because he made me a better fighter because I started whooping some ass. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a good one. I told you I wasn't playing with you, didn't I? Right? Oh, right, yeah. It made me a better fighter. So go ahead, because you might have Ali's jokes, but you ain't got his hands. I'll put it on, I'll put it on their ass, right? But hey, so we did the present moment, right? We lifted it up because we know that when we salute the present moment, family, we got to realize we're making a pact with our ancestors, and we're making a pact with our future generations, because we are dedicated to making sure that we remember those who have passed, and understand that we're standing on the building blocks, the foundation that they gave us. We are growing from the fertilizer, the soil that they became for us. Not that they laid, they became the soil out of which we grew. And one day we will become the soil out of which our children grow. So when we salute the moment, we are making a pact, right? A two-way, we're making a pact to play our part in the universal continuum. God damn it, that was good, brother. Where the lightning at? Lightning! Anime! Anime! Girl, I need you to be on point when that was some hot shit. I don't even remember what I said. I'm about to rewind that. Something about a continuum. That shit was cold. I was shooting from the hip, right? Well, anyway, you know what I'm saying? So we lift up the glass to salute this moment. And from there, family, we move to our children, our children's children, onto infinity, right? We are building the foundation upon which they will stand. We are laying the groundwork upon which they will stand. So if we was to look at it biblically, we are David, they are Solomon's coming, right? So we have to get the land together so that they could build the temple, if you want to look at it like that, right? You know, we getting it ready for you, babies, right? So we lift up our glass for you and we say, Ashe. From there, Brother Kwame say, it's another example of infighting among ourselves and not truly understanding the war is with our enemy, not our fellow captives. Yep, I agree. So we lift up and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to all of our relations. We toast and we say Ashe. From there, you know where we go. It's your toast. What is it that you need in a moment? Come on now. Don't be shy. We say Ashe. Last but not least, I toast the most magnificent, spectacular, fabulous, inspiring, beautiful, strong, intelligent individual in the room. And that's you. Lift up my glass to you. I salute you. And we say Ashe. 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 Now, family, I'm going to open the lines. I'm going to play some music while I get myself together just in case there's conversation. If not, I understand, because people got to go to their work or to adventure, depending on how you see it. You know what I'm saying? And let's see. I got a long song on here. Let's see. Track 3. Who's track 3? Am I? So my kids took all my stuff right up off of here. My girls is rough. We don't like you rapping, Daddy. So they just take my just threw my shit in the garbage can. God damn. Rough. They took my stuff off. Alright, so I'm kinda embarrassed. So let's do Ghost in the Shell. So y'all gonna listen to this, get your phones on. It's nice and hot out. I mean nice and cold out. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Ghost in the Shell. Here we go. It's just an instrumental. Just to give me time to get the Here go my song shit.
As I rock the mic, come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. What situation is pitiful? Blackness is critical. Defining our race and mind, not political. I'm starting with force to keep us on course. Using the pyramid builders as my main source. Our children will guide us. With ignorance behind us. Removing the shades that once had blinded us. So up to the crossroad. Straight for my black hole. Communing with brothers. Straight for my Mac goal. I step in as God. With the mic is my ride. Helping to raise the black children. They go from a pride. I enter as I'm a tap. Exit a shimmer tap. Now that you know what's up. Listen, you watch yourself. I rise with the sun. It's a new day begun. Off the walk on my path. It's search of the one. I'm looking for unity. Not for no casualties. But working together. We step for humanity. I want what was given. I'm far beyond 7. Because I know and realize I see the 2 gates of heaven. Black woman, I love you. Black sister, respected thee. Reach deep down into yourself. Save our community. Our laborers on our side. Allah will bless us ride. Ride will rise with you. Jah will not criticize. Jesus will bless thee. It's part of the prophecy. Look deep into your soul. Truth will set you free. Your innocence full effect. Don't be a fool black. Hope you prepare yourself for a mental and spirit check. I praise God. I praise God. I praise God. I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. I'm going inside to take a look at all the sets I couldn't see in a book. Born on this planet in a mortal mind state. Missing civilized as a 3-4 communication with the skill to build. Power to define as I direct my will to save my people on the planet Earth. I got to go to the underground first. Listening to my elders as I reach my youth. Speaking to elders as I speak the truth. Following the order that's ordained by God. With my head, my antenna, and my mouth.
I didn't play. I played fullback. I thought it was.
So no wolves can breathe. That's why.
I'm a full man, so I can't play a quarter of a position.
I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. Say what? I praise God as I rock the mic. Come on. I praise God as I rock the mic. I want to send out some shots to my brother, to all my brothers and my sisters in Compton and Underground Railroad. I like to send some specials out. My brother Water, my brother 7 Guests, or did I say Hotel?
So, say quarterback for the Browns. Well, I usually set the bench on winning teams and shit, you know. Especially after I went to the military. They set my ass down, brother. All right. Come on with the flute. Come on. Get with the flute. I was rapping and playing the flute at the same time. I forgot to play the flute. Just fucking with y'all. Alright, so the lines are open. If y'all want to discuss anything, y'all want to continue.
You were playing the flute on that?
I was just playing, Cleve. I'm just playing. I don't want you going telling your kids, oh, my dad used to play the... No, I didn't play the flute, brother. I didn't. You know I ain't got, you know, I'm still trying to learn to blow the trumpet. So, but like I said, I got the lines open if anybody want to have a conversation. If not, I understand. It's kind of cold right now and stuff like that. I'm so glad Kwame is off the mouse thing. But it's too late, man. You already put the thought in my head. I already reached out. I have a brother that's a pilot. He told me he can't get me over 15,000 feet. But as a brother, not, you know what I'm saying, as an older brother, he'd be like, he'd do it for me. Take me up 15,000 feet, see if I can jump out the plane. And if I tuck and roll right, I think, according to my theories, and with the math I was doing at the school the other day, right? I think that if I tuck and roll at the right time and come in at the right angle, I could survive without a parachute. And thanks to Kwame for bringing up the idea. I love you, brother. I'm doing this for you to prove the numbers that you put up yesterday. Yay, yay, yay. I'm looking forward to it. The call-in number is 614-556-4535. Man. Hey, Cleve, is it a pot on the stove with water in it? That big pot, or you pour the water out? You know it's distilled water. When I put them in the pots, it's distilled water. Real life here, Jamie Journey. I need some coffee. Well, if I go to the grave, proving your theory, man. I mean, I'm just like, yo, I got to win the argument. You started. I just was playing about the damn mouse. You just harassed me and harangued me about this damn mouse and mouse safety. You call me a mousedist or some shit like that? Brother. I never been called a mousedist. I kill mice equally. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we said we give the mouse a parachute if that is satisfied. You said we could just do experiments, brother. You know, and you get front seat at my funeral if it happens, because you was right. All right, so I ain't gonna hold y'all up. Hold on. Let's do one more song. Well, y'all in bed. Y'all ain't even trying to talk right now. If somebody trying to talk, y'all got about 2 minutes to say something. If not, we gone. Because I'm feeling a chill. Maybe we really are in a polar vortex for one day. So where the vortex gonna go after the day? Do you just say mices? Laughing on lie. Mices. Laughing on. I done let the light skin comment slide. What light skin comment? What? Did I say something about some light skin shit? Who? Yeah, he called me a mouses. You know he gotta use the word. Well, a mices, right? I'm a mices, right? Right. You know, he ain't called me that actually, but I know he was thinking it.
This call is being recorded.
Who wrestling with their phone?
This is Navita. You said something about the mice. I'm something with the mice. I knew what mice kids you said. You like those comments about being dark skinned. You hit him with the skinned today. I was like, oh, he must really be concerned about Ali's comment because you ain't hit him with the dark skin. You hit him with the dark skinned.
I did.
You said
yeah.
dark skinned.
Oh yeah.
I was like, this is. But anyway, I was calling because I don't know, and you probably don't know because you don't receded. So I was listening to Tariq Nasheed yesterday. And, you know, this whole thing, there's been a thing with him and Terry Crews. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I seen that on some of the timelines. They beefing?
Well, he got mad because I think Terry Crews has said something about D.L. Hughley smacking him in his mouth. For what? I don't know. I don't know that part. But it has something to do, though, I think, with this whole Me Too movement thing and this whole black man predator thing. Because now, you know, Terry Crews has been speaking out against all these black men, but not using the term, of course, but you know the codes and all that. And D.L. Hughley has said something about him doing that. It's Tariq has as well, but Tariq said, you know, you talking about you going to smack D.L. Hughley in the mouth, but you wouldn't even do nothing to that white man and grab your nuts.
Ooh, that's fucked up.
And
that was a low blow. Low blow.
No pun intended, but low blow. But the thing about it is, think about that stuff.
Start my car too.
This white man physically assaulted you. You ain't put your hands on this white man. You ain't saying nothing real outrageous to the white man at the moment. You let the shit right for years. But D.L. Hughley say something to you. He doesn't even physically assault you. And now you talking about smacking him in his mouth?
Yeah, I mean, because it's safer, right? D.L. Hughley can't take no money out his mouth. D.L. Hughley can't really do anything to his family financial. D.L. Hughley is not a violation. If he would have did that, see, my friend, one of my friends, like I told y'all yesterday, one of my friends, or in my little piece yesterday, one of my brothers that I'm talking, he calls me, and he's like, he has always been like my political advisor. You know, like, yo, this is going to be the ramification for this. If you do this, boom, boom, boom. And I've been trying to say, come on, dude, you need to put together a political curriculum so that we can start getting our young people trained. No, we can't do it quite that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm letting him move at his own pace. But I'm throwing stuff at him because there's other people out here right now. But make a long story short, we as a people, or even as a group, do not have the ability to reward our friends and punish our enemies. If Terry Crews would have did what he was supposed to do to that white boy, they would have punished his ass as a group. Like, for example, what case is coming, but he spoke at Kwanzaa, the first night of Kwanzaa.
Urema?
Yeah, Brother Ujima. Brother Ujima posted up yesterday, and forgive me, it was a accident of mine and not of the heart, brother. Brother Ujima put up a post yesterday, or maybe because he be putting up a lot of posts. I don't know whether it was yesterday, but I finally had an opportunity to see it. Where he was talking about the brother that went up to the White House to meet with President Bush in a daishiki and gave the brother a letter. And gave Bush a letter about all of the stuff that was going on in his community, and nobody has heard about this brother since. This brother's probably homeless. I mean, well, he probably working a regular job right now. His NBA career ended. See, and what we have to understand is that...
he played for the NBA?
He played for the Chicago Bulls, the championship Chicago Bulls. This is why he was at the White House. He went to the White House, and he got an opportunity to meet with the president, and he passed a note to the president about what was going on with us. I don't remember the brother's name. If somebody out there know the brother's name, shout him out. But the point is that we don't have the ability to reward our friends nor punish our enemies. So what
That's a good point.
you know what I'm saying? And politically, we got to be able to do that shit. So that when the police that's why the police could come feel that they're comfortable when they come into our neighborhood and do some of the shit that they do. Because we have no reward mechanism or any punishment mechanism. You fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? You know, we have open borders. Anybody, our neighborhoods are not even our neighborhoods. A different group could just move into our neighborhoods and buy that shit up. No consequences, no political consequences. Think about that shit, Navita.
Yeah, I know. My son talks about that all the time.
Oh, now,
you know, and
because he comes from a culture where there is rewards and punishments. You understand what I'm saying? In that life, you know what I'm saying? In the people that he hang with, there's rewards and there's punishments. Within our shit, we have it. So when it comes to us, it's easy for somebody to be like Terry Crews, because I'm used to being the biggest nigga in the room. I would slap that little comedian motherfucker for being funny, but when a smaller white boy come up and grab your balls, you have no comment. You know what I'm saying? Now you part of the Me Too movement. You know, because you've been assaulted with somebody with power, but you know what this. And
but he should have just kept his mouth shut then when it came to D.L. Hughley.
Well, no, actually, he might have to, because the way D.L. talk, he might have to slap D.L. Hughley in the mouth, because because D.L. Hughley don't need Tariq to go in for him. He'll go in for his goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? And make this motherfucker have to come up to the station and do something. And I hope he have a trap laid for this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got nothing against Terry Crews. I don't wish him no harm. But that shit is wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we don't, and we got to start really realizing that everyone that look like us is not us, and we got to become comfortable with that shit. We should be able to know each other by look. I should be able to look at an earring. I should be able to look at a piece of clothing. I should be able to watch you eat lunch and be like, Who your daddy?
The signal.
Yeah.
The signal, like the Masons have a signal.
Exactly. We need to know our tribe.
We need a signal. And now, you know, it's some of these things that are going on right now in what I guess you would say current events, this propaganda machine type shit, it's really standing out to me because a lot of our people, to me anyway, integration has brought us to this whole assimilation piece. And now it's hard to identify sometimes without the signal who really is on your team. Because when I hear some of the conversations that are taking place, if I was to close my eyes, I would think I'm talking to a white woman.
Hey, I mean, because go ahead.
Some of the like these key phrases like what I call.
Oh man, my bad. I'm at the gym. I'm trying to find somewhere quiet.
Oh no,
you got the
just mute.
Okay.
Just mute the mic until you get there.
You know, terms like the hyper masculinity that's showing out now. Terms like what's the one I heard the other day? Oh, the body shaming piece.
Right.
Like, you know, I hear a lot of our people using these terms, and like, for example, there was a brother, you know, that had a young lady that his daughter was 13. He found a lacy, silky bra hidden in her under her mattress, and he was saying, you know, ladies, help me, sisters, help me. Should she be wearing these type of stuff? Now, I wasn't maybe raised like most people. I wasn't raised by old people. My grandparents raised me, so I have some really old school ways. So when I was coming up, we weren't allowed to wear colored nail polish for years. So something like that, you know, and I think we have a very hyposexual society now. and we view sex even from a European standpoint now. But I say she shouldn't wear it. And a few other ladies did too, but then this one sister came on and was like, you should let her wear it. You're starting her body shaming her at an early age. And I was like, Jesus Christ, if I wouldn't have known, I'd have thought I was talking to a light woman. And this whole body shaming shit and you know, and it was just, brother, you wrong, and the misogynistic, that's the new shit.
Misogynistic.
You know, as a matter of fact, Soledad O'Brien, she tweeted that Tariq Nasheed is a disgusting individual. She said he was disgusting, misogynistic. Soledad O'Brien, you know. So I say it's like there's an all-out war for us to keep us thinking black, if you know what I mean.
Right. Assimilation is basically a nice word for surrender who you are. And we have to be very clear about that shit. So when we surrender who we are, we start trying to act like who we're not.
But do we realize, so what's that? Surrendering who you are, do you think we know we're surrendering who we are, or we just have no clue?
Now, let me say this to you. When you wake up and look in the mirror, you can't help but to see who you are. So in some sense, people know what they're giving up. So we have a lot of people that have actively surrendered. Just like in slavery, we had a lot of people who just actively, fuck it, this is where I'm at now, this is what I'm going to do. Let's just keep it real. Okay, I'm a slave, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. You know.
Do you think some people make a conscious decision to, for lack of a better word, cross over?
We know that. We know. We know without a shadow of a doubt. See, because really, when you look at yourself, see, what we do is like, for example, I like anime. You know this. I like anime, and not anime. That's her over here. That anime. What's up, girl? Anime. God damn it. All right. And I was watching DC. I got the DC channel. And I'm watching Young Justice. I've been waiting damn near 4 years for this shit to come out. Season 3. Good, too. All the way up until you start listening to the black characters in there. So I got to write DC a letter and let them know that they need some black writers. If you're going to have black characters, you need to have some black writers with black experiences, because just listening to the way that they got black people signing on that shit is insulting to me. That's me. You know, maybe other people is not. Also, the other piece of it is the way that they have black people interacting is wrong. Like, we got, so he ain't turning on no heat. So we got a father and a son in a DC piece interacting in a way that is not traditionally us. Now, and maybe it has changed. Maybe teenagers argue with their father, like I heard this dude arguing with his father. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they may do that now because, like I said, our cultural piece, it seems like we have bought into their cultural way of raising children now, and so that, you know, you couldn't do that with your father when I was coming up.
No, see, because
most fathers you couldn't.
So his son. So let me just paint the scenario. So we got a successful doctor that's working with superheroes. So I won't, boom, boom, boom. Black doctor working with and doing research for superheroes. He gets so caught up in his work that he don't recognize that his son is a 4.0 student and a star athlete. and his son been asking him to come to his football game, right? So they start arguing, and the father's like, you know, my work is very important. You know, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you get your grades up. I got 4.0 if you didn't know, oh man, and blah blah blah. And he said, boy, you better watch your. You're boying me now. Now, I couldn't imagine having that discussion with my grandfather. Hell, I couldn't imagine having that discussion with my father, who didn't come into my life till I was an adult. You know what I'm saying? When it came time to argue, I walked away and I went and I spoke to one of my elders, who checked me on behalf of my dad, which blew my motherfucking mind. Right? You know what? You want to that was the most incredible shit I ever seen. He said, I don't give a fuck if he wasn't in your life like that. That's your dad. You don't. Right. We don't do that. What, you want a TV, nigga? Here, take my TV. Right? I said, that's your TV. No, motherfucker. If it's important enough for you to fall out with the person that you come from, then take my TV. If it's gonna make you, no, I don't want your TV. Take my TV. No, you get out of my house. Yes, sir. All right, but yeah, I think a lot of us consciously move into that, and then now, as adults, consciously. But I think the children right now are being brainwashed, well, not even brainwashed, but the way the advertisers coming to them, we're all the same. This is why I have to stress circling our wagons, because our children need to understand that they're not the same. They're not.
Well, and they don't. They, you know, unless they are being taught that, but there comes a point when I think all children, whether you're taught that or not, you will realize when you're not at one point. You realize when you're not. Where's Quasi? Is he have something he wanted to say?
No, he's still working out. He probably on a treadmill. He started with the treadmill. And she mad.
So, yeah, there's a point where I think even as a young person, you know, you get that nigga wake-up call.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, now it depends, see, because what we got to understand is that people are making more life decisions at a younger age now. So it's like we have young people, because getting as you call it, the nigga wake-up call is a lot different at 21, 22, 23, 24 years old than it is at getting it in middle school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I work with a lot of young people that I honestly believe don't really even realize that they're black or what that even means. As a matter of fact, they honestly believe.
You're kidding me.
Listen, I mean, just look. I can't
even imagine that.
No, look, man. Listen, because ghettoism has been normalized as American behavior. Now, we know that it's
black behavior.
Well, now, come on.
What you're saying? No, you're saying behavior, period.
No, it's behavior. See, because what we got to understand, because there's a certain, they call it swag. You know what I'm saying? That's something. Everybody want to be cool. So you will walk into, or you'll look on TV and you'll see people including our vernacular and including our way of walking and including our way of dress, right? So it's normalized. So they think that behavior is a behavior that could possibly move them into a position of success. So it's normalized American behavior. So you have a lot of white kids looking at that shit, feeling the exact same shit. You know what I'm saying? But we know where it comes from. We know where a majority of the people that use it end up. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, so they act out from the shit that they seeing, because if you're on TV, you got money. If you got the YouTube views. Cleveland! Yeah. Come open the door, man. What did you do?
I did nothing.
Exactly. Probably nothing at all. What's going on?
Snow on the car.
You can turn the thing on the phone to mail anything.
All right. Real life here, Gianni Journey. So, yeah, so we got a lot of kids running around with illusions, along with adults. That and the wake up call isn't it really don't hit home until it hits you. You understand what I'm saying? So you can see it on TV, but you be like, but that's not me.
But it seems like, I know when I was coming up, I got my wake up call, I guess, probably middle school. But when I lived here in Columbus, I usually would live in neighborhoods that were predominantly black, so I didn't have no nigga wake up call. But when I moved to Chillicothe and I went to schools that were predominantly white, that's when I learned really about being different. And we're not all the same. We're not all treated the same. What have you. And even with my grandson is in elementary school, which he leaves to middle school next year. But I guess because we talk about race issues all the time, he points it out when he sees it. They just did that because he's a white dude. If I'd have done that, I'd have gotten in trouble.
Hell yeah. And it's important, like I said, it's important, and one of the major pieces I talk to people about is knowing who you are, where you are, when you are. And a lot of people don't know that shit. And because they don't know, they're playing in the game that they actually think that they are in, when in fact they are the capital of the game. They're not players in the game. They're the capital in the game. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you can stop being capital in the game is being conscious and getting enough people to understand that, hey, we need to put the brakes on this shit. And we need to start learning to reward our friends and punish our enemies. Simple. It ain't even about.
We have the ability. Well, see, in the process of that, we have to be able to, like, I'm going to use Tariq Nasheed as an example, because one thing about Tariq, though, he uses YouTube as his platform, etc. But for the most part, his income comes from black folks.
Right. So that's a major piece.
He says pretty much what he wants to say. And he doesn't have to worry about when they are calling him, you know, they always are referring to him as being misogynist, racist sometimes, you know, this Soledad O'Brien said disgusting. You know, they have different online magazines that attack him on a regular basis, mainly saying that he hates black women. That's one of the main things they say. But he speaks out and says what he wants to say because he don't have to, because that's not his source of income.
Right. And see, now
that's not his source of income. Now they could shut him off somehow on the internet at some point, but that's not his source of income. And I think there's even ways around that.
Oh man,
but
a whole bunch.
Like Corey Holcomb, he speaks out. He doesn't follow the norm. He doesn't follow the rules when it comes to what you can say, especially when it comes to homosexuals. Which, you know, if you say something against homosexuals now, you might as well talk about white Jesus. So he has finally been removed from Twitter. Tariq was talking about it yesterday, that they shut him down on Twitter. So I went to go check, because I'm not on Twitter. I got on there, though, just to see, and yeah, he has been shut down on Twitter. So
who? Tariq or
Corey Holcomb? Corey Holcomb, because, you know, he constantly, well, not constantly, but he's going to say what he wants to say. He's not going to censor himself, and he thinks, you know, you could say, he said when he did the show Black Jesus, when he was on Black Jesus, I guess he still is, I don't know if it still exists, but on Black Jesus, you know, sometimes, you can improvise your lines and different shit like that.
Right.
Well, they told him you can say anything you want, you can use any curse words you want, but you can't say fag. He said, wait a minute. I can say bitch. He's like, yep. I can say nigga. Yep. I can say nigga. He's like, yep. But I can't say fag. And they was like, nope. And he said, what kind of bullshit is this? I can say nigga, but I can't say fag. You mother, and so, he had a couple of times where he still would say it, but they just cut it out, They cut it out.
But that goes back to the point.
He says that word on a regular basis, and that ended up getting him shut off of Twitter.
But that goes into the ability to reward your friends and punish your enemies. And like I said, what we're doing for us creating cultural stabilizing organizations and holidays and bringing people together, we're building a community that will have the ability to punish as well as reward. You know what I'm saying? So because like I said, because think about it, the only other people in black community that has ever really been able to speak truth to power have been pastors, because they are totally financed from the people. But because they got so caught up with this whole imagery of this of the Jesus and being so hands off because of the way because all they gotta do is make subtle changes in the education process. So within the seminary, they went in and they start changing shit after people like Martin Luther King and changing shit, because the church used to be the mainstay of actually revolutionary action. But go ahead, Brother Kwame on the line. Brother Kwame on the line, the Black Yoda.
Liberation theology.
What did you say, Kwame?
Black liberation theology.
Still washing the dishes.
That's what we need. Black liberation
and clean off a
theology.
goddamn car. That's all you had to do. But you just went out there and started on it.
The
And
brother Ice Cube, he's got, I don't know if people realize this, but he's got his own football league.
Window, dummy.
He started.
Did he really?
He what?
Yeah, he has his own football league. Ice Cube.
No, it's not a football league. It's a basketball league. A 3-on-3 basketball league.
It's basketball, but yeah, and I'm like, if we would somebody could take their money, and if we could just, because we got people who make enough money to do it, let's fuck the NFL. All the black people play for the NFL anyway, so shit. We put our money together. There's enough people that make enough money in that bracket there.
Hold on, Navita. The cook is sneaking up behind you. You in somebody else's kitchen, talking that shit. Go ahead. Go. Keep on barking. Keep on barking. You about to get thrown out the kitchen.
I'm about to have my own kitchen. Shit.
All right.
My son's starting with an empty kitchen. But, we got to try to, like you said, we got to come out the kitchen in some kind of, can we come out the kitchen? Are you saying we can't come out the kitchen?
Oh, yeah, we come out the kitchen. Oh, no. See, that's the whole piece, right? Never lost cause. You know what I'm saying? Because what we doing is right now, we're building our own kitchen. Right now, we're on their platforms and shit, but we got young people that's learning how to do this shit. Some of them listening, some of them not, but some of them is getting the skills so that we can start building our own shit. We're building, the reason we got people calling into the black signal line is so that we can build up our own platform. Not just so that we still can use the Facebooks and the YouTubes and the shit like that, but we need to be able to get in touch with the people that are like us. We need to find out who's, and a simple initiation step is can you send a goddamn text? If you can't send a text, right, I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you can't come to a celebration, I don't need you. You know what I'm saying? Unless you are bedridden and shit like that and you need help, and you know what I'm saying? Because the point is for us, we have to start having, in a sense, hurdles that individuals have to come through in order to get with us. And once they get with us, we have to start being able to raise the financial capital to, once again, award our friends and punish our enemies.
Right.
We ain't fucking.
Right.
We ain't fucking with you politicians. Hold on. I'm going to say this. In Columbus, you know what I'm saying? We need to come up with a group of questions that we need to ask as a people. With 1,000, with 1,500 of us. Listen, we control this little area. As far as voting, we got 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 votes. That if you answer this question wrong, I swear, not only will you not win, and if you in office, we will pull your punk ass out. How do you feel about reparations, goddammit?
Yo. I just had to do a workout. So
did you do one for me, Quasi?
This next one's for you. I had to that one right there. Man. Yeah, I needed that one. I had to get that one in.
I'll get mine in next month. But while in the meantime, get them in for me.
Yeah, this next one's for you. I just got your name all over it. I'm glad, actually, I was loud and I had to get off the phone because I was about to say something loud. I had to rein myself in. But how can I say the same loud thing without sounding too crazy? That's my new mission, is to just try to learn how to say what I need to say, but it ain't that time yet. You know, I'm willing to go all the way, but it'll be a Pyrrhic victory. Is that how you say it?
A Pyrrhic victory.
At this point, it'll be one of those. So.
Yeah, we don't need those. We don't want no Pyrrhic victories because that shit is horrible. Horrible for and you know who it's horrible for? It's horrible for the children because there's nobody left to defend their ass, and that's what we used to fighting.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons why we kind of had to go through what we went through, because it's like, I mean, we had warrior codes where, I mean, everybody would die, and you leaving your babies. It'll be babies. Who gonna protect them? Who gonna guide them? Who gonna teach them? They automatically become part of the other team. Fuck that.
That's the major thing with 300. Those 300, they knew they could win the war without them. Them was their strongest 300, but they was more confident enough in the 10,000 or 40,000 or however many they had back. And all agrees, even though I don't know if that's an accurate story.
It's not. I'll give you the real one when I come back.
There's still some wisdom in the story, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's still some wisdom in the story they told. I'm imagining there's probably more wisdom and it's more inspirational for us in the true story, though. You know what I mean? But yeah. Once this people ready, once that what you were talking about. But the thing of it is, though, this is what I can't get away from feeling like I need to say, though.
I have an appointment.
The main thing that you can threaten people with, as far as supporting them or being able to take from them, is really their life for one, but more so is their peace and their ability to do market. You know what I mean? It's the marketplace. It's got to be tangible steps, man.
Now, peace is very tangible. See, what D.L. Hughley did was attack Terry Crews. Boom, dude. I don't agree with what you're doing. What you're doing is giving these white women a platform to attack black men, blah, blah, blah. That's probably some shit that he said. Now, Terry Crews was at peace with his shit. You know what I'm saying? Because he think he doing something for him. But when he got the wake-up call, he said, man, go ahead. Go ahead, Yoda.
I'm sorry, bro. Don't pay me no mind right now.
All right. So when Terry Crews got the word from D.L. Hughley or about D.L. Hughley, he got offended because I want some people to understand this. We got some black folks who believe that they're doing the right thing. Terry Crews, I honestly believe that Terry Crews believes that he's doing the right thing and that he's on the right side. And because nobody has presented it to him in the way that it need to be presented it to him, that when he heard it, he got offended. Now,
he got to know that as far as him letting the gay white dude fondle him, that's got to be somewhere in his psyche. Because there's no lie. Humans can't lie to themselves. We can try, but it seeps out. You can't lie to me. You can't lie to you.
How is he lying?
Because you do, it's all kind of tales. Because existence is only truth.
But listen, how did he lie? What is he lying about? He was sexually assaulted. And if he would have said anything, his life would have changed.
He didn't say he was going to smack dude, though.
Yeah, huh?
He didn't say he was going to smack dude.
We don't know that. We don't know what he said there, because I'm telling you right now, this dude ain't just grab his balls and walk away. That's not the story that I heard.
No, he didn't say nothing. I watched the interview. Let me step up this time.
Okay.
He said his wife grabbed his arm and was like, don't say anything. And he said, his first instinct was to,
knock the shit out of
assault
him.
the guy.
Right.
But he didn't. And his wife, he's thankful and his wife was so proud of him because he didn't show any hostility. He didn't portray that angry black man stereotype, all of that. And she was proud of him, And he said, he kept it moving. He just told him, man, don't do that, and kept it moving.
Man,
now I know what I want to say. Because it's abs day. I'm gonna say this, and I'm about to get back to these abs. This six pack ain't gonna make itself happen. But so as far as that's the perfect thing right there. His wife said, "Don't be a stereotype." Fuck being a stereotype, man. I'm tired of us a lot. We have to start determining what matters to us. Allowing outsiders, like two things that I found myself in two kind of debates, I suppose you would say yesterday. One about the use of the word nigga, and the other one, it wasn't so much of a debate, but at the rec center where I do the after-school program, there's a bunch of signs up that say real men don't sag. And I know how some of the people even on the line might necessarily say that, but fuck that shit. I sag if I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like fucking sagging, I'm sagging. I don't give a fuck what nobody say about me, and test my manhood.
All right,
you know what I mean? I'm down to die behind my shit.
Question. Real men fuck young girls. Is that cool? If I put signs up like that? See, because we got to be careful with that shit, because that shit will flip on us real quick.
So I think you kind of agreeing with what I'm saying.
You don't know, but no. See, because real men, it said real men don't sag. See, because we got to understand it starts with small things.
Exactly.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Undermine us. And that's our culture. That's my culture. And the reason they try to put all that gay shit, the reason I started sagging is because my mom couldn't afford to always buy me belts. Or she would buy my pants a little too big so I could grow into them. That's why I got into the sag culture. So it feels comfortable. It don't feel comfortable to me all the way up by my belly button. It just feels awkward. It feels cumbersome. So my automatic play, I do think that there is a certain level to which I would have a conversation with a young man, you know what I mean? But with that same thing, this whole women movement and body shaming, why can't I show my ass then? If you can show as much cleavage as you want, why can't I show my ass?
It's my body. Say it, Quasi. They body shaming these brothers. Oh, that's a good point, Quasi. That's body shaming.
Wow. Now that is a good point.
Oh, I'm about to throw that out there now.
I'm about to get your asses. Y'all better go on. Y'all better be careful. Because you're walking around the abyss. Your ass is about to fall into the chasm. Be careful. Go ahead. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go.
I'm good. I'm about to get this body. I'm about to get smacking so I can be out here with my body this year. Shame on you if you got some problem with it. Everybody, I hope you heard that because I'm busting the sag.
Go ahead.
But I think that to the point is
gonna be sagging back.
That's a contradiction. See, that's that European talk, that whole body shaming shit. It only applies when it comes to, when a male says somebody says something to a woman derogatory about her body parts or what she shows or what have you. But then when a man is doing it, now it's despicable. It's this or that, black male especially. So, there's an agenda behind that whole body shaming bullshit, because it don't apply, like Quasi said. Well, it don't apply to the brothers when they sag. Don't nobody say you can't be body shaming them.
I should
People
be
say, I
able
don't want to
show.
see your underwear. I don't want to see your ass.
I should be able to
you
show
don't hear
what
nobody
I'm
say
on.
that when the cleavage is all the way down.
Who was that rapper with the big ass belly before?
Rick Ross.
Yeah,
No,
Rick Ross.
No, before Rick Ross, it was Big Pun. Big Pun used to rap with his shirt off first.
Did
he? Yeah, bro, Big Pun was known to be out there with that belly out. He said the mamacitas love this belly.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, Kwame. But now I'm gonna say this. That is now, because what happened was we have a generation of individuals that started doing something because of financial necessity, and rather than it continuing as a financial necessity, it continued as a fad. Is it the same thing? Now, regardless of what it turns out, because as a man, let me say this. As men, we had the ability to design pants that could stay up on our waist. There's a reason why we wear pants on our waist. I'm just saying. Now, I have had experiences where motherfuckers who was sporting the sag, that sag was not able to help them in a warrior type situation.
And see, and that's where I was going with it, where as a man, and I wrote something in the chat thingy earlier about, how we're supposed to establish our territory, and then we need to be able to defend it
at all times.
As a man, again, I can't see it, so I don't know how drastic some of the sagging is. I've been told how drastic it has gotten to, and I've even heard stories where a brother who called himself sagging with them damn lighted tennis shoes thought he was going to rob something in the middle of the night, and his ass can't run because his shit's around his legs.
Around his legs.
Right. I think people get caught by the police trying to run.
Right. Not to mention his shoes are lighting the path that he's running. So, I mean, you got some foolishness like that going on. But going back to, as a man, if we're able to be in the best situation where we can defend our shit.
Exactly. So now, if you
I don't know. I mean, if your shit wears like a gi, then, sag all you want to. But if your shit is restraining your legs so that you can't move in any way, hampering your movement, then I raise the question, are you in the best mindset and making available for your body to move in case you have to defend yourself or your people?
Now, I do agree with the whole anti-body shaming shit, because that should be a meme that we need to put up on our shit. If she can show her titties, why can't this brother show his ass? Now, I'm just saying.
Real quick. Go ahead, my bad.
I'm going to have to break that meme.
That's why I threw it out there.
Because the thing of it is, I think one of the reasons why brothers be wanting to sag is because it's looked at, it's anti-society. It's an anti-society look. So if we start uplifting it, you know what I'm saying, and force society to change the narrative, then we could, it's nothing to resist anymore.
But what I'm saying is, all I asked was, what you did was out of necessity. What I did was out of necessity because I like wearing loose pants, because back in the day, the pants they used to make for us were so tight that if I got into a fight, 2 of my major weapons were not usable. That's where I was. Now, but I also needed it to be tight enough around my waist where my pants would stay up if I had to take off my belt as a motherfucking weapon. Because listen, and this is what I be trying to tell some of the young brothers. You do what you want. Like I said, but now, where does that shit stop? And for men, where does that shit stop? You know what I'm saying? Because it is small increments. So now we're arguing over what you call it? You came on the show and said now we arguing over pronouns to call a motherfucker. Where does it? See, it always starts in small increments. And I'm like, yo, as a warrior, I need to be able to have if I'm going to wear a belt, because as human beings, we are intelligent enough. There's a reason why we have not created pants that can hold their goddamn selves up. I'm just being very clear. I want to be honest with you. I want y'all to think about that shit. You mean to tell me that after all these thousands of years of development, that human beings can't create pants that can hold themselves up? The belt serves a specific purpose. The belt buckle is a fucking weapon. The belt by itself is a rope or something that holds shit up. Something that you put your gun in, and when you and it needs to be able to be there so that it can help you in warriorship. Not in looking good, but now I ain't never been. I speak to them about, but I believe that each generation needs to do what they feel they need to do. You know what I'm saying? But I want to be careful. I want us to be careful because we don't want it to tip over. Because when does it move from just sagging to, hey, you know, fucking 12-year-olds is cool? And I know that's a big jump, but it starts small. Because right now we got to argue about pronouns. Hell, I got to, in many cases, some of us going to have to go to schools and argue about boys and girls not going to the bathroom together. Because that's what's coming. Nobody wants.
It's here. That shit is here.
Oh no, it's not. You know? It's not here yet. I'm just saying that shit is not here yet. You shut your mouth. That shit's not. Knock on wood. That shit's not here yet.
Well, I thought under Obama though it was made.
Stop. I'm not gonna stop.
Legal to do.
Stop. God damn it.
No, you're right. You're right, Navita, because that's why I look up in a lot of the libraries now. And stuff,
that's true.
You have what's called the family restroom, where it's meant for folk, transgender folks to be able to use that area, but also for disabled folks who may need help. They can go into those family restrooms.
But I want to.
Well, I've seen cases where they've been in school where the young was a transgendered boy. I guess that's a girl transitioning to a boy. Was using in school the boys' restroom, or vice versa, whatever it was, and the school got in trouble because they told her she had to use the bathroom that her private part was.
Listen,
so it's here, and the school was reprimanded for that.
Oh yeah, you could be sued. See, listen to me. What I'm saying is, we don't have to have this conversation on the show, please.
Okay.
But second, also look at some of the places that we say when you go to those bathrooms are not multi-person bathrooms. I don't mind having a combined bathroom where one person could go in by themselves, use it, and come out, and then somebody going after them. Right. What I'm concerned about is having boys and girls all in the same bathroom by themselves. I mean, come on now. Come on now.
No, I mean,
we got hot dick and pussy in the same bathroom? Oh, no.
But our culture, go ahead, Kwame.
Our culture, our way, teaches us better than that. We know better. But if we're following somebody else's way, then we get caught up into that stupid bullshit.
That assimilation bullshit.
That is going around
assimilation
and all of the seeds of the stuff that they plant, and we got all of the pushback we need. For instance, with this whole toxic masculinity thing that's being used to make black men villains of society, or to further that narrative, the toxic masculinity thing, we could use their same narrative to destroy that shit. Because how are you going to define me? What about my right to have my own gender pronoun? You know what I'm saying? And women can be masculine. So that whole shit is out the window, because masculine, by their same definition in the same conversation, doesn't necessarily refer to a man or a woman.
Now, but this the issue.
You better say it, because that's according to their standards. It shouldn't be.
But
crazy. I'm about to be popping that off. Some women have masculine, toxic masculinity.
We need that's a weapon. But we need to understand it's a double-edged sword, goddammit. Because when you take that point in argument, then when do you have a clear definition of what masculinity is?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We got kids, goddammit. So now, Shalonda feel as masculine as your son today. But hold on, Shalonda, yesterday you felt like a girl. Now you want to go into the bathroom with my son. Now, y'all sitting at the stars, you trying to pee at the stall, you look at my son, you offer, or y'all doing something, the next thing you know, now we got a toxic masculinity in the motherfucking bathroom from boys. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I challenge you to find a case of white toxic masculinity. Whenever they talking about that shit, they talking about us. So when they're directing it at us, we have to be very clear. We got to be very clear and understand how we respond to that shit. Why? Because I want to... Go ahead.
The notion of machismo.
Go ahead.
That was directed toward the Latino hypermasculinity concept.
The only people that they talk about having toxic masculinity is motherfuckers that they warn against.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's no toxic white manism. These motherfuckers been fucking bitches in the offices long before black men been doing it. They've been fucking motherfuckers on plantations longer than we have. They have been taking over whole towns, and they even called treasure booty, goddammit. What is you talking about? Toxic masculinity. These motherfuckers stopped the list. So if we want to talk about toxic masculinity, let's talk about it historically, bitches. That's what I want to do. Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's toxic masculinity is colonism. Toxic masculinity is oppression. And I have not. You know what I'm saying? This is when I used to get in trouble, because I would go to places and motherfuckers would be like, as males, we have violated women all over the world, and I couldn't grasp the shit, because I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck you saying. You know what I'm saying? I used to get kicked.
That's the other side of this so-called feminist argument. White women make these statements, and they're including the history of black women. But white women ain't had no parts of the history of black women.
Yes, they did. As oppressors.
So white men and
they have, it's not
black
from the victim perspective. Let's say Emmett Till.
I'm sorry, Kwame, go ahead.
No, confused black men will stand in front of a crowd and make statements like that when he's assuming the character of a white man. And so, you know, you have that kind of confusion that folks try to confuse your history and thus confuse you.
Why y'all quiet? It's y'all show. So we got to understand the games that's being played on us, family. I'm trying to make some coffee. The games that's being played on us, man. It's like these motherfuckers, man. And I mean, and it's like they strategize. They're not gods. They like us. Well, actually, not like us. but close enough. We family, you know what I'm saying? We in the same family. We in the same, you know what I'm saying? But the point that I'm trying to make is that they have people that's been studying this shit. This is what universities are for. This is what I'm trying to figure out why we don't get this shit. You build a university so that you can explore and study different ideas. These motherfuckers had schools where they basically, in a sense, murdered and cut us. Do we not understand this shit? Do we not understand the depths?
Were they what? They do what, Hassan?
They study money. They study murder. Listen to me, Navita. These motherfuckers they got the science to understand that how blood splattered on the wall. They could tell where you were and how you were. That ain't by accident. These motherfuckers was actually doing this shit. Do we not understand the depths of slavery? We don't even understand that as property, as capital. We don't want to say that shit. As capital. Maybe that make you feel better. Motherfucker, you was the money. As money, they could do with you what you want. What they wanted to. So when they wanted to learn how to do surgery, who the fuck you think they did it on? Who they cut first? When they wanted to know whether something was harmful or not, who the fuck you think? When they want to study murder, who do you think they do it on first? These motherfuckers had 300 to 400 years of being able to do what the fuck they want with us as human beings.
And they still do.
Now, not
through the prison industrial complex. I've been watching this show on Netflix called Colony, and they're trying to find out different medical shit and experimentation, and they're pulling people off of death row.
Well, I'm saying that yes, there is the prison industrial complex, and that is more that's made more aware to us, you know, what goes on there. But what about all those children and black women and black men who just drop off of the face of the earth and nobody knows where the hell they gone to? That's what I'm talking about.
That's true. I think it happens in prison too on a lot of people because they're the forgotten ones. I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
And it's an easy way to keep them confined. You can study them easier, and nobody knows the difference because no one,
nobody gives a fuck.
Pays them any attention.
And their family has no power to reward their friends and punish their motherfucking enemies. And groups do that. Groups do that. Man, I'm listening to this book by Robert Greene. Robert Greene's latest book. Something about human behaviors. I can't remember the title. The shit is good. But this motherfucker broke down Rockefeller as a passive-aggressive motherfucker, and you start looking at the way that he manipulated this whole shit, how him and his team was able to manipulate this shit, right? And it's like, what did these motherfuckers do when they had us under total reign? I don't even think that we have unearthed half the shit. We think, they was just raping us and putting us to work. But there was motherfuckers who actually had actual interests, who had money. And you got human beings and you could do whatever the fuck you want with them.
And they did just that medical experiment, no anesthesia involved at all.
And we have to understand. We have to understand that this is what we dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So these individuals, and I brought it up to say this, that these motherfuckers have experiment on humans' reaction to pain, humans' reaction to psychological pain, humans' behavior under societal stress, and they was able to do all that shit in an area no bigger than 3 miles called a plantation. They got studies. They got scrupulous records. How you say, is it scrupulous? Is that how you say it? Records of this shit. So what I'm saying is, then they take that information, they put it in universities, and universities further study the shit. Now we can do it humanely, supposedly, with more going through moral councils and shit. And the piece that we have to understand is that they create these universities so that they could gather the information, so that they have a place to go back and get the information, so that they can use it for their benefit. So when it comes to fucking with us, we can't be acting like these motherfuckers is just trying to figure this shit out. They done figured this shit out a long time ago because they had your great-grandfather in the same fucked up situation you in right now. And they saw how he reacted, so it's a good chance. We got an 85% chance that he's going to react like...
The word was meticulous, bro. Meticulous.
What'd I say? I made up a word, goddammit. Black creativity, goddammit. That's what I made up a word. You know what I'm saying? But family, I mean...
But even the one...
Go ahead.
The one white dude who did all the experiments on the slave women that created the speculum for the vagina. They have, and he has records of the different experiments he did on pregnant black women, or, that were enslaved, from cutting babies out their stomach before they was ready to, just cutting off arms and seeing if they could survive. I mean, this guy did everything you could think of on the Hitler side of the game, and they got a statue commemorating him in one of these states. I forget his name.
Yeah, I think they wanted to take it down.
Yeah,
I remember when they wanted to take it down. I don't know if that was ever successful or not. Probably but I remember there being an issue with them wanting to remove the statue. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why Sim comes to mind, but I don't know.
We just, like I said, man, I'm just like, I want to make sure that when we embrace shit, we're not going down a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? Well, even though you can't avoid that shit, but you even going down a slippery slope, we got more than enough strategy, more enough thinkers to guide us about the shit. Because where we are is not a hopeless position. Where we are is where people have been since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
get to Whitehall.
You like Navita say Whitehall. I'm saying I believe I would like to start smaller. I would love to live with y'all in an apartment complex and control that shit and then build up from there.
We can start small in Whitehall.
Okay, well, let's start. I mean, like, if they got apartment complexes for sale in Whitehall, then we could get, I want to be able to concentrate 300 votes in one place.
Right, and we could do that because it's already there. They already have a concentration of folks, but there's plenty of complexes there. The Biolumala is actually thinking about opening a restaurant over there on Yearling in Whitehall. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean,
they have a lot of stuff is like, a lot of black people live there now, so
we might as well take it over.
A lot of stuff is vacated. But we might as well go ahead and gentrify it even more so.
So that's a possibility.
While the prices are low,
But family, we've been on here for 2 hours and 7 minutes. God damn it. I love y'all. I love y'all.
And I'm getting ready for work.
Are you late?
I'm not really.
Oh, okay.
Not really. I kind of flex.
I'm getting ready for work too.
Yeah, right. But one more thing before we go.
Go ahead.
That's why the warrior training piece to me is so important because we have young minds that we can work with and that we need to address certain issues, just like with the folktale last night. I meant to say this last night. The dog got in there and they know how the fuck to act. That's why I think we have to teach sometimes how we move in this system, and so we can use it to our advantage because we are living in it. And I think those are one of the things that we should be teaching our young warriors, because that is a piece of being a warrior, is being able to be that spook that sat by the door.
I'm thinking about what you just said, and I'm combining something that Robert Greene said, and I'm also thinking about something that Lady J was saying, and combining all of that. And the whole propaganda piece is really the bottom line, because you said we need to teach them, but I know how Tim combined with everything I was saying, you was talking about the soap opera piece. Because people don't really receive words. They receive symbols. And that's why they bombard us with all this TV. You know what I mean? So ultimately, Robert Greene said, win through your actions, never through words. Because that's the law. I think it's the fourth law. Or it's the second or the fourth 48 law, the 48 laws of power. You know what I mean? Like, between us, we are on the path, so we can communicate with each other through words because we are already open to it. But when you, and even among each other, sometimes the best way to make a point is through action. But with the masses, to reach people, definitely through actions. Words is going to take people away because they don't know. We can never peel back enough layers to get back to where the lesson that we trying to convey started for us. So we starting somewhere so deep for the average person that we're going to just scare them off more than likely. You know what I'm saying? But right. If we could show our whole journey. We could show a whole journey in a 30-minute segment. Show. You know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. Show through your actions and not your words. You know what I'm saying?
So speaking of actions, this is a call to all these brothers out here. The first Monday of February.
That gym background is loud.
Yeah, the first Monday of February, we black men wanted to lend some support to Elder Sokoto Fulani, so we were going to go and celebrate with him at his church. That's the first Monday of February. I believe that's February 3rd, 11 o'clock a.m. We're trying to be there at 10:45 so we can make a good showing. If your wife should want to come, bring them. If your sister should want to come. Just let us show some support to our elder, our Baba, and the family. And, so again, that's February 3rd, 11 o'clock a.m. at the United Methodist Church on the Hilltop. I believe that's 99 South Highland Avenue.
Thank you.
I believe look it up, but I believe the zip is 43223.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that on Kaumba. Post it up or whatever. Get people, try to get some videos out there. So I'm
Marketplace.
Go ahead, baby.
And I'm gonna hang up and listen, but go ahead and promote the marketplace for you, Brownton. Peace.
What you? Hey, but Nabi. Oh, God damn it, Nabi! It's so quick. So obviously somebody's good at hanging up on people and shit. You know, she real good at hanging up on. I mean, God damn it, I was about to ask you something, Navita, but you hung up on me. But all right, family, I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for participating in the conversation. Let y'all know that I love y'all and thank you. And let's continue building. Remember, our hustle builds muscle, right? And with that, I am out. Peace out. Hold on, let me check the chats before I get out. I don't want to do nobody wrong. You said, what's the subject matter being discussed? Dr. Wesley Muhammad has a book on how black boys and the chemicalization of black men. Okay, cool. Thank you, bro. But yo, we're about to get on up. We was just, we was just doing a general conversation and it went off into some other places, man. I want to thank you for at least checking it out. Let me know how things are up there in Akron, man. All right? We are out. Peace.